low. It's very grand.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Sure to Be Grand, a podcast about two Irish eaches giving you their two Irish eaches opinions. Lads, we're in the end game now. How many times has that been said now in reference to WandaVision?
I think that's the third time one of us has said it.
Yeah, great. Yes, the last episode of WandaVision. How do you feel, Owen?
The actual last episode, all right? This secret 10th episode stuff was a load of shit.
Oh, imagine it was just like next week, just another episode came out and went, what?
It'd be pretty baller if they just didn't tell anybody and were just like, just threw it up on Disney Plus and waited for people to find it. But I'd also hate them intensely for doing it. So
yeah, because they broke all the rules of the whole consumer.
Yeah, like this is a relationship here, buddy. All right, you can't just fuck with us all the time.
Yeah. So last week, Wanda's kids were being strangled by magic ropes. One was very upset, and Agatha was all weird eyebrow makeup, and it didn't seem to be going well for our gang.
And action. Go. That's where we take off.
So Wanda shoots, red light at her and knocks back Agatha. And there's always that in TV shows where they bring up to a very big tension point at the end of an episode, and it gets resolved literally in 2 seconds in the next episode. It's just like, all right, okay.
Cliffhangers are they're literally only there to create a sense of, I have to come back next week and see what happens.
Yeah.
And then they're almost immediately just like, just forget about that now. We don't need it anymore. It's fine.
Yeah. And like, I'm not going to go for every step of what happened in this episode, but so Wanda and Agatha are fighting, and we quickly learn that Agatha can absorb magic, which we've known before during her witch trial, where she absorbed all her mother's and her covenant's power. And that's a good point. How is Wanda going to fight Agatha? And just out of nowhere, she just fucking flings a car at her right into a building, and both of us just sort of being like, yeah, you can't absorb a car.
You wouldn't absorb a car. Yeah, it's the, I would if I could, but it's back to what we were talking about in the Pokemon episode again. When Ash tried to punch Mewtwo, it's very much like, oh, you're prepared for magic and spells, are you? Well, fucking here's a car to the face. Prepare for that, Agatha.
You get this like in American action movies as well. It's just like, Indiana Jones, I suppose, did the same thing with a guy who had like this scimitar, and he was swinging it around in all crazy ways. Indiana Jones just takes that gun and went and walks on. It's that kind of humor. They had a nice little reference to The Wizard of Oz. We see her two shoes stick out from underneath the car.
And the rubble of the house.
And the rubble of the house. And we see Wanda walking away from it, and we see White Vision float down to her. And she says, is this really you? Because I think she's almost sensing something of him, like a genuine him. Like she knows this body's real.
Yeah, I think she's also got a lot going on, so she's probably quite confused in the moment. To be fair, she's had a lot dumped on her quite recently. So
yeah, and he does the whole stroking her face, but then turns out, oh no, I'm an evil robot, and starts squeezing her head. And honestly, like without magic, Wanda's not that strong. Like she's just a normal person.
Yeah, I still think maybe she has some sort of like
magic shielding just in case.
She has some sort of upped like durability or something, because like she does get slapped around the place a lot.
That's usually in combat.
But she still like gets fucking kicked through rooftops and stuff in Infinity War.
I get that, but that's when she's in battle, and she probably has like magic like running through her body at that stage. But there she's just like walking around and, oh my god, her defenses are down.
She was just in combat.
I mean, okay, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I just felt that scene could have gone very gory very quickly if we really thought about it.
Imagine it just ended there. It just turns into the like popping eyeballs in the mountain from Game of Thrones, and everyone just goes, "Oh, okay."
The entire illusion falls. Everything's
Over.
gone.
It's done. Oh, right.
Yeah. And then we see good boy Vision come in and just tackle his counterpart into a building, and yeah, he tells the Wanda and the kids to run while he fights.
He punches White Vision away first, doesn't he? He like sends him flying away, and then he says,
"Yeah,
to
like
Wanda,
he look after him, like
yeah, but he has a line there where he says to Wanda, or
it's
like,
like,
he's like,
this is our home, let's
home.
defend it.
It's time to fight for it, or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's nice.
Yeah, and that's what he does.
Fair enough.
For a brief period of time, he fights.
Yeah, they kind of Vision and White Vision are just kind of fighting in the air, doing weird sort of oh, I'm sticking my hand through your hand. Haha, but I hardened my hand, so now I'm in control of your hand. Oh, now I'm through your back, and I'm hardened my back, and whoa! It's a really weird fight.
Yeah, it's also a little bit janky looking in places. The CG for the Vision fight is it's not bad by any means. It's
for
just,
TV, it's really fucking good.
It's really good, yeah, but it's a little bit awkward looking at times. There's moments
because we've seen how good it can be. We've seen in movies, like
there's just moments where you're looking at Vision like flying, and it's like it's a little bit off. It's not quite perfect.
Yeah,
but, small complaint.
Yeah,
I have to have one.
Yeah, absolutely. Wanda kind of ends up. We end up near to the center of the town eventually. And Agatha is having her therapy session again with Wanda. Trying to show her how she's just as evil as Agatha is.
She has a bad guy monologue again. Tells Wanda that she's been torturing all these people and she doesn't know how to use her powers and she's uncontrollable and blah blah. All fair points at this stage, to be honest. Yeah. And then
fair play.
She whips out the Darkhold.
Yes.
Gives us some more little exposition about the Scarlet Witch.
Yeah. That she's more superior to the Wizard Supreme, isn't it?
She's more powerful than the Sorcerer Supreme. She is without a coven, and she doesn't need to use incantations to do spells and stuff.
Yeah.
Is what
so
Agatha
I mean
tells her.
So while I'm doing this theatrically, while looking at Captain Marvel, I'm gonna say, yeah, so it seems like Wanda is the most powerful Avenger then, wouldn't you say?
I mean, there's literally no doubt anymore. Like,
yeah,
now that like Wanda has been fully realized in her final form or whatever the fuck, she's gone UI or something. Like, it's not a question anymore. Was Wanda Scarlet Witch is quite clearly the strongest Avenger, if she's even Avenger anymore.
To be honest, I was reading through the wiki for the comic version of Wanda, the current one, and honestly, I was reading through and said, why was like Thanos ever a threat, even with Infinity Stones? Like, she is so powerful.
Yeah, she's one of those cases of a comic book character that like they just kind of went too far with it. It's like Franklin Richards. Like, they just made a character who can just, like, what's this guy's mutant ability? Oh, he can just fucking do whatever he wants. Excuse me? Yeah, he's a kid and he can just change reality whenever he wants. That's his power. Oh, and you think that's okay to have in your world?
Because that's the thing. I was looking at the wiki and they said, oh, she has pyrokinesis, she has aquakinesis, she has all these kinesises, she has control over reality, she can read people's minds, she can do this, and I said, just give her a power called omnipower at this stage. Like, you don't have to list everything. She can do everything.
She's just a god, like, really. It's like, okay.
Like, even, like, and I correct me if I'm wrong, anyone online, but, like, she's kind of the foundation of any main universe she's in. Like, she is the foundation of the 616 universe.
Yeah, she's the Nexus thing that we were talking about last week.
Like, reality is based on her.
Yeah.
Like, That's
Yeah, she's a
oh yeah,
nexus
but Captain
point.
Marvel, she can punch real hard.
Captain Marvel took a headbutt without flinching from Thanos. All right, so
Which was, to be fair, was a cool scene.
to be fair,
That was a
it
cool
was
scene.
was a cool scene. Yeah, and it was. She is. I think Captain Marvel is definitely like second on the list somewhere. Probably.
Yeah,
She's
yeah,
definitely,
absolutely, yeah.
yeah.
It's not meant to be a dig. It's just I remember there was this big hoopla when she came out. I was like, oh no, yeah, Captain Marvel's the most powerful Avenger, and people went, no. Even the
Y'all
producers
know
disagree
Scarlet
here.
Witch is here. There were some people that always said like, no, it's Scarlet Witch, and even like after Endgame, because Scarlet Witch also pretty much beat Thanos by herself
Yeah, she
in the
did.
middle of Endgame. She
Yeah.
just was like, you took everything from me.
Yeah,
I don't even
was a
know
great
who
scene.
you are. And then she rips him to shreds. He only gets saved by like the ships opening fire on everybody. So she always was, I think.
yeah.
She's been
I mean,
steadily.
they asked the producers. Yeah, they asked the producers even way beforehand. They said like, who's the most powerful Avenger, and without hesitation, they went, oh, Wanda.
Yeah, it's
Like,
Wanda.
straight up,
Yeah.
like.
She's
I mean,
been
she's
steadily,
developing, you know.
She's been steadily
Yeah.
getting more shine as well, to say that. Like in Infinity War, there's the scene as well where she comes down from the thing and saves Black Widow and all of them.
Yeah,
from
she's
Iran,
not
and they're
alone,
like,
that kind of thing.
why was she up there the whole time? Like, she comes down, I think, and literally just like picks up the two big machines and slams them into each other, and they're like, what? Why wasn't she down here with us?
Here's an interesting tidbit. Apparently, and this probably has been like shown incorrect, but Wanda's apparently not able to use her powers while she's flying in the comics, and Wanda of the MCU definitely can. It's practically what she does,
Yeah,
because
yeah, she does.
the whole thing is with Wanda is that she's connected to the Earth, and a lot of her power comes from that too. So when she's disconnected from the Earth, she does. I don't know, that it seems like a weird linchpin, but I guess they had to nerf her somehow.
They had to give her some sort of Achilles heel, I guess. That you know,
Seems like a silly one, but she could probably just pull the Earth with her wherever she was flying.
she could
Just like,
honestly,
whoop.
she could rewrite reality so that the sky is the Earth,
Yeah,
and then it's fine, I guess. Like, I don't
yeah.
know.
Or just rewrite reality when actually, that's not a problem with me anymore.
Yeah,
Just click her fingers.
I'm just gonna get rid of that. That's like problem that I have. It's gone. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I'm invincible now. By the way.
Anyway, we went to livid on the other side, but it is Wanda, so I don't think it's too bad. Anyway, we see Agatha apparently cutting the strings to the meat puppets, as she calls them, the local citizens.
Yeah.
And they all just kind of go to her and says, "We suffer. Please let us go.
Yeah,
We have the nightmares that you have nightmares of. Please."
Yeah, it starts with Dottie, who we haven't seen
Yeah.
since like episode 2, maybe, or something. Like maybe a glimpse of her, but she
Yeah.
hasn't had anything to do. Dottie's the first one, and she just walks up to Wanda and is like, "Please, I have an 8-year-old child,
Yeah.
and
Let them out the room.
just
Be
please
friends with you."
let them out of the room. They can be friends with your kids, or they can be the school
Yeah.
bully, or whatever storyline you want. Just let me hug them, or let me see my
Yeah.
kids again," kind of thing. And it's like,
Yeah.
damn. So
Yeah.
that's back to when we were questioning why there's no kids in the town. Wanda
Yeah.
locked them up.
Oh, she did. We were kind of told that as well. In the Halloween one, that like I think there was a mention that where are the kids when everything's going on? Are they just locked up? Are they asleep?
Yeah, that's like we were discussing it, but now we know, like,
I think it was mentioned as well. Okay, never mind. Okay, all right. But yeah. So we see a lot of that. We see her saying like, I don't even like recognize myself in the mirror anymore. I remember my face used to look different. My voice used to sound different, but now I don't even know why I did that anymore. What's going? Like, they're obviously all suffering very much. I'm still not sure. I still think Agatha was playing a few strings there. I don't think it was just purely let go. There was a little bit of like, they seemed very direct hits, especially like we suffer the dreams you suffer.
I thought as well. It was very showy of the whole thing for them to like all, because they all like approached her in unison as well, and it was almost like a weird culty lynchy mob scene or something. They were all like, I expected them to start chanting at one point or something, just like it was. There was probably bits of it. It looked weird as well to me. I don't know why when Agatha freed them, the like, like the color pattern thing that appears on their foreheads when they're freed, it was yellow, like when Vision does
like
it.
the headstone, Mind Stone,
rather than purple like when Agatha did something to Wanda's brain in the last episode,
Yeah,
or when
I'm
she
not
did
sure.
something to Quicksilver and Monica. It was purple.
Yeah,
Just was, I don't know. Just weird that it was a different color.
yeah, it is a bit weird. Yeah. Um. So yeah, we get them talking, and Wanda makes a point that she's not as evil as Agatha because she's not doing these things on purpose. Like, this is a big point she's making. Like, I'm not doing these things on purpose. And around this stage, is it does Sword come in now, or is it
No,
that Sword comes in
Well, we get Skybeam.
Skybeam? Okay, yeah.
Wanda,
So this is
Wanda does. They do a Skybeam briefly.
yeah. Yeah, I'm just trying to remember. Is the Skybeam now, like, is it before or after Wanda goes into the memory of Agatha? Like,
It's
the
before.
memory of Agatha is okay.
It's
Right.
before. It's like
Right.
right before it. Wanda does a big sky. Wanda's like, Agatha says you have to, or they're all like, all the townspeople are like telling her how
Yeah.
much they're in pain, and Wanda says, "Fine, I'll free you," kind of thing or whatever.
Yeah,
And she starts tearing down the walls of the reality. And
That's
when the
right,
gap
yeah.
opens, Sword are like, "Right, get in there now," and they drive in.
yeah.
They drive in 2 jeeps with 6 fellas in 2 jeeps.
That's enough.
And a couple of guns are like, "Right, this is our big moment, guys. Let's go." And they drive in with a couple of jeeps.
Yeah. Vision and the kids appear, and they're kind of like falling apart because reality is falling
Yeah,
apart.
they're tied to this. They only
yeah.
exist in this reality. So they're
And
being-
really, Agatha threw all this in. Here, just give me your power. I'll fix your spell. You get to live in this lovely reality. Just hand me over your amazing superpowers.
yeah,
That's okay. Yeah.
give me all of your beautiful, lovely, sexy chaos magic,
Yeah.
and I'll leave
Yeah.
everything alone, and you can just live here with your made-up family.
Yeah. And she kind of, I suppose she breaks a little bit here, and she decides to close up the world again. And we get basically the Avengers shot with the family.
Yeah, pretty much. It's pretty much
Yeah.
the Incredibles shot.
Yeah. No, but even like the music was very close to the
Mm.
Avengers tune at the beginning, and then it just kind of went into WandaVision music. So the sword is there, Agatha is floating there. You were making a point that do the sword people know about Agatha?
Yeah, because I don't know. It was odd that like they turned up and the director himself is in one of the jeeps, and they all just
Yeah.
like pull up in front of Wanda and the kids, and he's like, "This is it. Like, take them," and they all jump out and start pointing guns at Wanda, Vision, and Tommy and Billy. But like, there's a big glowing purple witch woman floating in the sky above them, and they don't even look in her direction. Not even, none of them is even like glances up and goes, "Who's that?" They never even acknowledge her presence. It's just like,
Do you think at this stage they're just like, you know what, it's
just-
been weird enough.
they're just
who
like, "All right,
cares?"
guys, look, one problem at a time. We'll deal with it. We'll do her later, okay?"
Well, this big purpley cloud dress of a witch is floating. Nah,
No,
I'm good. I'm good.
I don't see it. It's not there. All right, we're moving on.
Yeah, and we get the big moment. Vision flies off to tackle his counterpart again, and they end up in a library, which is very Vision-y.
Quite thematic,
And-
yes.
Yeah, and Vision, they have they have a moment where they kind of are not attacking each other, and our Vision from this created world goes. Do you know the story of Perseus? Isn't it? Both of Perseus. Theseus. Sorry,
Yeah.
I always get Perseus and Theseus mixed up, which is the geekiest thing I've ever said in my life. Anyway, and people probably know the story of Theseus, his boat, but if you replace each part of a boat, once the rot comes in and the damage comes in, eventually when you replace every single part of the boat is a new boat. Or the more easy explanation, shovel.
The easy access version is a guy on a building site who's had the same shovel for 35 years, but he's replaced the handle 16 times and he's bought a new head for the shovel 14 times. Is it even
Yeah.
the same shovel anymore?
Yeah,
It's that, basically.
yeah, it's that. And it's a good story. And White Vision kind of comes up to the point where he's like, well, neither of us are real, and neither of us are not, and both of us are real. And the only difference is the memories. And our Vision goes like, well, it's very hard to delete memories from a carbon-based blah 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 blah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
White Vision says, but maybe you're the real Vision because you believe you are Vision, sort of thing. Or
And once I've seen you,
and Vision's like, no, well, I used to think that, but then now I met you, I realize I'm not. I'm something else, and you have all of.
He said a very fancy word that I've never heard before.
He says you have all the memories, and he said there's no. What does he said? You're a carbon sentient life form or something, or
carbon
it's very hard
synthetic,
to delete those
something
along those. He says carbon something. I don't know what.
And we Vision approaches him and he kind of restores his memories. You see, I thought it was going to go bad for a second because he puts his finger to where the stone would have been, and it was like glowing yellow, like what the stone should be, and then it turned blue again. And oh no, this didn't work. But then we see his eyes clear up, and it's. Can we just say the acting is really well done here? Like White Vision's, like, of course our makeups are that different, but the White Vision's face is so different to how Vision usually holds his face.
He's a lot harsher looking, and kind of his eyebrows are more like angled in.
It's just how his face rests. Like the resting face is different. Yeah, it's very, very good. And he's like,
congratulations to Paul Bettany on finally fulfilling his dream of acting with himself.
Yeah, he's always wanted to work with him.
Yeah,
he's a wonderful actor. Yes, and all we see White Vision going like, "I am Vision," and he just flies off into the air.
Yeah, he just leaves. So we don't ever find out where he's going or who, like, where what he's done. He just leaves. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, he probably has a personality crisis at the moment.
Something. I mean, he's going to be back. He's out there in the world now. There's a Vision.
Because if he was just Vision, he could have just like, well, I gotta save the kids and Wanda. They're the most important thing in my life.
It came so close to what I said last week that like I thought the Visions were just gonna fucking merge to become the one true Vision or whatever.
And it would have made sense because of what we found out about him.
I thought they were going there. I really thought I was like, oh shit, yes, it's about to happen. Vision's gonna come back, like proper Vision. He's gonna be the two pieces of Vision are gonna come together. They didn't really give us that. They they could have done it really, but
I mean, especially like later on in the episode, Wanda goes like, she's talking to our Vision, and she's just like, "You're part of the Mind Stone that rests in me.
Yeah,
you're all these things." And so it basically means his soul is basically there, like the thing that makes Vision Vision. The Mind Stone is there, so they merged. It would have been Vision, like in every conceivable way. Like, yeah. So, but yeah.
Meanwhile,
go off, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's going on in that Vision. I really hope he shows up in some of the movies. To be honest,
he'll be back at some point. Definitely, they're not just going to throw that away, and they can't now. People are going to be clamoring saying, "Look, Vision's out there. He's Vision. He has all his memories, and he's going to come back and help Wanda." And blah, blah, blah. Maybe he'll come back in Doctor Strange again.
Yeah,
because even like the end of the episode, they're very much like, it's a very emotional scene when Wanda and Vision are saying goodbye to each other, but they're very much both of them very much like, we'll see each other again. Yeah,
Vision kind of goes like, "Oh, I was this before, and I was this before. Who
knows what I'll be next?" Yeah,
it was a very nice line, to be fair.
It was nice.
Anyway, we go back and so at this stage, Wanda tackles Agatha and goes inside her brain.
She teleports first. And then
she teleports, she does this weird flicky thing in her hand,
like flicky thing and just disappears. And Agatha's like, "Shit, where'd she go?" And then she like appears behind her, and it looks like she was moving in fucking super fast. Briefly, she just like zips up to her and like does the temple tickle and turns her. Goes into
Here's the deal, though. Look, if Agatha can give some random actor dude the power of running speeds, like. Go on. I can see your face is very.
It's just that scene. That whole thing. Go on.
Do you want to talk about it?
Just while all this is happening, we go back to find out what Monica is doing, and she's being held hostage by Quicksilver.
Yeah.
Who we find out is just some guy from Westview, and his name. Oh, he's an actor, and his name is Ralph Boner.
Boner.
And they make a boner joke in the middle of the episode.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you forgot that this had an American writing team for a Marvel movie, oh, you better fucking remember quick, son. Here's a childish boner joke in the middle of the WandaVision season finale.
You know I'm terrible with names, but like I really wonder why didn't they just make it the actor's name?
Just have it be
like,
Evan Peters written on the thing.
Yeah, why not? Like have Evan Peters be an actor in that world?
Because you can't do a boner joke then.
Peter is an American word for dick, so get out of my house.
It doesn't work the same though, does it?
It does.
Like
50 years ago, it would have been hilarious.
Yeah, okay. If this was episode 1 of WandaVision and we were still in the 1950s, somebody could have gone, oh, Peters. But, no. Instead, it's just he laughs at his own name. Is the weird thing about it. Monica looks at him and says, "You're Ralph Boner. That's your name," and he just goes, "Boner." Like, that's your name, dude.
Has he done this all his life? Every time
somebody calls his name in class, he just goes, Boner. Like,
maybe it's his acting name. Maybe it's not his actual.
Maybe he's a porn star.
Maybe he is.
Oh, no.
Maybe he. I bet he's very quick. Agatha was just watching porn saying, that guy is quick. Just as quick as Quicksilver.
Agatha ruined his acting career now. He can't last for a scene anymore. Oh god, what are we doing?
Again, can we just talk about Wanda again?
Yeah, sure.
To be honest, Monica doesn't have much to do in this episode, which is a real shame. I was expecting like a proper fight between her and Quicksilver and
I think again, anybody out there who was like clamoring for just one big extended fight, maybe a little bit disappointed. You get bits of it, like
I mean, there's some maybe not all out fight, but there's some really cool tension moments in this episode. Like
but it's not like, I think maybe some people thought it was going to be a big climactic battle between all of them. They're all just fucking slapping each other around the place, like I don't know, like a Civil War airport scene or something. But like,
here's the thing: why did Monica fly back when Quicksilver hit her? Like, wouldn't her powers kick in again, where she neutralizes like energy?
I don't know. I mean, you can probably just put it down to the fact that she doesn't know what she's doing, and her powers.
And then she shields the two. Then eventually she shields the two kids with her powers. Because so the kids are running around and they're taking apart the sword guys, and they're taking their guns away, and they're using mind control and all this kind of stuff, and then the director comes out and tries to shoot some kids. And Monica comes in and goes like, no, that's wrong. And the bullets go through her body, lose their energy, and just drop out, and she's perfectly fine. It's just like some weird yellow power thing she has.
She's turns into her like photon form thing, I guess, from the comics. But
that was kind of cool.
I don't know if in that scene I think Monica was actually willing to take a bullet for the kids.
Yeah,
I don't know if she was.
Power took over.
I don't know if she was jumping in consciously, going, "I'll use these powers that I don't know how to save them." She was probably just going, "No, don't shoot these kids, you evil fucking son of a bitch."
What the fuck? You're not gonna get away with this.
What are you, crazy?
American agencies don't get away with shooting kids. What are you on about?
Hell, man, you can't do that. Meanwhile, the FBI.
So we have a great scene as well, where like they were obviously trying to do this all undercover, and our favorite boy, from The Office, calls in the FBI and stops them and all this kind of stuff, and then they don't stop them. They rush in before the FBI gets, but the FBI is on the way and saves the day somehow.
They just turn up at the end to do like a cleanup thing, I guess.
So we go in. So Wanda goes eventually into Agatha's head. It's the witch burning scene again, and we think that
Salem, Massachusetts.
Yeah, because this is the first time in a while where we see Wanda use her mind powers to give fear to people.
Yeah, she does the temple.
That was a big thing of Age of Ultron. Yeah, and we see her doing that, but then all the witches turn on her because Agatha's like, dude, like, I know what I'm actually doing. You just have the power. I have the bloody knowledge.
Yeah.
And they like twist her around, put her onto the witch burning pyre, and it looks. I mean, we know it's going to go fine, but it looks bad for Wanda. And Wanda's just like, "Oh, you don't have to tell me who I am. I know who I am." And we start seeing like her head crest thing she wears in the comics, the two spikes come out of her head.
Yeah.
And we're just like, okay, it's starting. It's
Here
starting.
we go, people. Here we go.
Yeah. And yeah, she breaks out. Agatha and her do some air battles, and Agatha keeps saying, "Here, just give me your power. It's fine. I'll do everything for you. I'll fix your spell. Blah blah blah." And Wanda is shooting energy beams at her and missing sometimes at the walls around.
Yeah.
And I'm the idiot who didn't realize what was going on while it was happening. I was just like, God, you're just not very good at it. Are you trying to destroy the walls? I feel like you could probably just do that with your fingers. Like, sure, you just click it. No? Okay.
Yeah, to be fair, I think that's maybe what they wanted people to think, because they showed it as like when her like energy bolts were hitting the walls, things were like flickering and stuff. They probably wanted people to go, "Oh my God, no, Wanda's going to accidentally destroy this reality and everything's going to fall apart." Yeah. But to be honest, I always find that the like recap thing at the start of an episode of TV is fairly
spoiler.
It's fairly nailed on that if something is in the recap, especially if it's like if you're on season 4 of a TV show and there's something in the recap from like from like early episodes, that's going to come up in this episode because there's a reason they put it there. And in the recap, they not only did they purposefully hung on a shot of the runes that Agatha had in her basement, and they replayed the line of Agatha saying, only the witch who cast the runes can use magic in here or something.
Yeah.
So I figured it was going to come up again.
Yeah. I did. And look, as you know, obviously some people are going to get this before it happened. But it was a cool moment. Like, it was we flipped around on you. And so at this stage, Wanda's all out of energy. She's just kind of floating there. Apparently still enough magic to float. Good on her. But then Wanda just goes like, "Oh, I know who I am." She does that thing again. And suddenly she starts reabsorbing the energy from Agatha.
Yeah. And
she's just like glowing red, and then
takes Agatha's magic too.
Yeah, Agatha's. Oh, that's a good point. You're right.
Because she pulled all the purple out of Agatha too.
That's true. Yeah.
Weird statement, yeah. But yeah, she took Agatha's magic.
She took all the purple out of Agatha. Yes.
Yeah.
And we get a moment I didn't realize I've wanted for so long for Scarlet Witch. We see her in a costume, and honestly, like, anyone who's listened to this podcast for a while knows that Owen and I can be a little bit cynical about things, but both of us just went, "That looks amazing."
Yeah, the two of us just in unison were like, "She looks fucking cool, man."
Yeah, it was just straight
awesome.
Up. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And like, they still kept the Marvel touch. Like, you see like the kind of that bronze metal feel they do with some of their like metal artifacts. But that's good. It should be in the spirit of the MCU. And I really liked that as well. And she also, it wasn't just an external transformation. Like, her personality transformed a little bit as well. She suddenly had confidence. She didn't have any more like, "Oh, my hair is all over the place and have crying eyes." This is just like her smirking once in a while in a sentence.
Yeah, it's kind of it's like the first time Goku goes Super Saiyan or something. He's just like, it's
a little bit of cockiness.
It's just like, "I'm fucking awesome now. What the fuck are you gonna do, bitch?" Like, look at me.
I fucking love it.
Yeah,
it felt so nice that it wasn't like
they do her like absorbing the energy and like reaching her final form thing is, aside from the color, it's like it's what the Mind Stone showed her all those years ago when it chose her or whatever.
Yeah,
it's that kind of Jesus pose thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and look, it was just a really, really cool scene. We see Agatha. She's on the ground now. She's cowering in front of Wanda, and Wanda's like, she's like, "Oh, what are you gonna do? Kill me?" And I was like, "No, I'm not gonna kill you." but I'm going to make sure that you state the person that you chose to be in this little world. And she turns her into, hi!
Yeah. Turns her into
Yeah.
Agnes, the nosy neighbor. And now she's like,
Yeah.
and Agatha is like, oh, you don't know what you've unleashed here. Like, you're going to need my help. And Wanda's just like,
Yeah.
well, I know
So
where you are. Yeah. I know
Yeah.
where to find
And I
you.
will say, like, fair play to the action on her part as well, because even when she was in the whole Agatha nosy neighbor thing, like Agnes nosy neighbor thing, you could see there was a bit of sadness in the eye. There was a little bit of a, oh, I'm terrified.
Catherine Hahn, like, in that scene was just it like a porcelain mask she was wearing. It was so well done that her face was smiling and happy, but her eyes were terrified. It was like, wow.
Honestly, the two leading women in this show, just brilliant acting from both of them.
Brilliant. Also, I mean, shout out to Paul Bettany too, by the way. I love Vision's whole thing. But yeah, Elizabeth Olsen in particular, outstanding throughout this entire thing. And Catherine Hahn does a great job too. So yeah, can't fault them.
Yeah. No, absolutely not. Like, honestly, maybe some of the best acting in Marvel yet, you know?
Certainly up there. I think Elizabeth Olsen throughout this has definitely shown the most diverse acting.
Yeah.
Of any of the kind of Marvel characters.
I suppose she also had the opportunity because she was allowed to play so many different variations.
Yeah, I mean, she was given the tools to do it, but she still did it.
Did it as well. Like, I mean, yeah. Because the thing is, I know Robert Downey Jr. I've seen other movies. I mean, he's a fantastic actor, like, and he's a great actor as Tony Stark as well. Let's not take that away. I would have loved to see him put into something like that where he could show a little bit of his different styles, like especially some of his older movies, like the Charlie Chaplin movie. Like he does have like a spectrum of acting. It's just like nowadays it's usually, oh, here's Robert Downey Jr. in whatever he's in. you know,
just be Tony Stark some more. That's what we want.
Yeah,
just keep being him. That's fine.
Yeah, which is a shame because he is a very good actor. But let's not suddenly talk about a person who's not even in the show. We then get the sad reality, knowing that the kids and Vision simply can't be. They can't exist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wanda has to give them up.
Yeah. And they head back to the house. And Wanda is now, like, it feels like she's gone past her trauma. She's very, like, emotionally stable. She's strong. She's confident in this, even though she knows she's going to lose them.
She knows it's going to hurt, but she's also, like, accepted that, and she's aware that this is, she has to kind of live with that. She can't change reality whenever she fucking loses somebody, or.
And again, it's that subtle change in her character, which acting-wise is really impressive. Like this, it's just a little flick, and like she's still very much Wanda, but I wonder, like, we would have met 10 years later where she got through things and was more confident and she was more herself. Like.
Yeah, this is the thing as well, right? Because I think I was looking at it somewhere that this whole thing is taking place like a week or two after the Endgame. After the end of it.
Oh.
It's not, because somebody was saying, can't remember where I read it, but they were trying to figure out, apparently, like, Spider-Man Far From Home takes place after this movie, supposedly.
Okay.
So it's like, which maybe makes sense, because I know in Far From Home, when they're Nick Fury's trying to recruit Peter to, like, help him, and Peter's just like, I'm on a school trip, I just want to, like, hang out with my friends, I can't help you or whatever. And he says no, and Peter's like, why can't you call, like, Captain Marvel or something? And they all kind of look at him like, don't talk about her or something. And he says like, what about Doctor Strange? And I'm pretty sure Nick Fury says, like, he's dealing with something, or he's busy or something like that. So I don't know, maybe I might be wrong on that. I could have that. I could have it mixed up, but
here's the thing, right? So we've seen the unsnapping, right, where Monica returns in the hospital. So do you think from her return back into reality, and to the end of WandaVision, that all happened in a week or two.
Yeah, supposedly that's
It doesn't really make sense for Monica, though,
the
does it?
the
I feel like there should
return.
be a bit more time for her to just state what happened. It's just like,
Well,
yeah,
I
your mom's
kind of-
dead. You
yeah.
snapped 5 years ahead. Go on a mission.
But I
You know?
think I think that's why when we first met, when we did that episode of talking about Monica,
Yeah.
she was like really eager to jump back into work, and even the director
Yeah.
and everyone was like, you know, it's okay if you need to take some more time or whatever. And he's like, I'm not gonna just throw you into some crazy. I mean, it ended up happening in the end, but he's like, you can just go deal with this missing persons thing or whatever. We're not gonna like throw you into
Yeah.
fucking space or whatever straight away.
Okay, well, that's fair enough. A bit of a rush, but fair enough. Okay, anyway. Yeah, they say goodbye to the kids. And she makes a point that, you know, we're family. You can't ever really get away from family, no matter how hard you might try. And, you know, it's a sweet moment. And I think it's probably a hint, obviously, to what we see at the end, that she'll be trying to bring those kids back in some way. And, you know, Vision says goodbye to them as well. And we have then this scene with Vision and Wanda downstairs. And we see the wall of this reality slowly coming closer and closer to it. And Vision makes this joke that, oh, I once heard a saying that you shouldn't say goodbye when the lights are out. And it's just his way of saying, I want to see you before everything ends.
Just wanted to get one more look at you.
Yeah.
That's what I
And there
did.
you
That was
are.
my first thought. You know,
But
that Star is
he
Born
says
scene in the car.
But can I just say,
wanna
like,
get one
some
more
of
look
these
at you.
lines are just so ordinary lines. It's like, I just wanted to see you, like, at the light on. And there you are. And that's just a normal sentence, but it's wonderful. Like, it's done
Yeah.
so well by him. Like, yeah, and he asks Wanda, you know, what am I? You know, I have only one question. Like, what am I? And she makes a point that the Mind Stone that lays within me, that's who you are, like, and you are mixed of wires, blood, and bone, and memories. You are I think, my fear, but also my hope,
My sadness, she says.
my sadness, but
Yeah.
also my hope. And so, like, in a real way, like, I think at this stage we can say, this is Vision. This is Vision from Wakanda that gets killed, that was brought back. He just doesn't have the memories because he physically doesn't have the memories,
Yeah.
but it's his soul, his quintessential him.
It's a piece of him, at least.
Yeah, I think it's the piece of that's his soul. The rest of it is
it's all the pieces of himself that lived in Wanda.
Yeah, but he's off the Mind Stone as well, so I think it's him as well.
Maybe. I don't know
I
about
think
that
so.
one.
I think
Maybe.
that's the intention of it. Like,
Yeah, you could be
the-
right.
the only thing he doesn't have is the physical carbon memory patterns, whatever. That's it.
Which is why they should have melded them.
Merge. I 100% believe they at some stage they definitely were going to say, we're going to meld these two characters together. Like, because this is how you do TV shows and stories. You have lots of potentialities and you choose the best one. Like, you know.
Yeah, I think I think that happening is not out of the question as like a further plot for Vision.
No,
That
because
this White Vision will
merge with this.
to like find those parts of himself that
his soul
are still in Wanda, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, I think the intention of him now is that this is Vision, but without the soul, without the Mind Stone, without that part that gives him life. This is, yes, it's Vision with all his memories, but it's not him just yet.
I kind of liked as well. We were talking about last week when we were talking about White Vision in the comics and how it's he was basically this, and then Hank Pym fixed him. It was kind of nice though that he like fixed himself.
Yeah,
sort
it's
of.
their message.
Yeah, it was kind of. I liked that change. You know, still justice for Hank Pym and all that, but you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But yeah, and you know, Vision says like he was like a bodiless memory at one stage. Then he was a robot. I don't know what the things he said. I don't remember what he said exactly, but he says, I don't know what I'm going to be next. But they definitely are kind of saying, like, we'll see each other again.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, every intention. And I love that. I really hope it's the ongoing romance of Wanda and Vision. I think it should always be balanced with tragedy, but the love should always be there as well.
Is it a Wanda and Vision now #1 MCU love story? Beating out Cap and Peggy Carter.
I mean, I never cared for that one, but sure.
Hey,
you miss Tony and Pepper, like.
Nobody gives a fuck about Pepper Potts, man. Jesus. I hate her so much, and like
they cared enough to give her an Iron Man suit out of nowhere.
But they cared not enough to give her fucking superpowers in Iron Man 3, and then just go, nah, you know what? That movie was stupid. Everything of import that happened in it, let's just forget about it because
I'm going to give up being Iron Man.
Tony gave up being Iron Man and blew up all his suits? No, he's back in
Age of Ultron.
Yeah, no.
I got a new suit,
he's back
buddy.
in the new movie and he's Iron Man again and he has more suits than ever before. And also Pepper doesn't have powers anymore, so shut the fuck up. It's like what?
Literally, he has a Hulkbuster. Like, I got rid of all my suits except all the cool ones.
I blew up everything just except the Hulkbuster. I kept that just in case. Don't worry about it. It was fine.
And this one has like a triangle. Was it circle or triangle? Whatever.
Yeah, also I improved all of them. I made them with nanotechnology now. So it's technically I'm not Iron Man, I'm Nano Man now, so shut up, right? Yeah, anyway, I don't know. Maybe Peter and MJ will do some
this
stuff.
It's nice.
They're kids. They're kids though, so it's
because I don't think Marvel's going to invest too much in them emotionally wise, because there's every opportunity that they disappear again when Sony goes, nah.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if from all reports things are going swimmingly in that team up. But you never know. So. Sony could decide, I want Spider-Man back. He's mine.
Okay. They'd be stupid. It's the best Spider-Man has been.
I need him to fight Morbius. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, what's the villain that everyone was expecting to show up for this? Was it Morbius?
No, Dormammu.
Mephisto. No Mephisto, folks.
Not yet.
It's the end of the series.
Yes,
but unless there's an episode next week that we go.
There's still, I think, given the post-credit scene and everything, there is still.
Look, we'll get there in a second.
Anyway. Yeah.
But we get a goodbye and see you, darling. I think he says at the end, and Wanda goes into town. Like everyone in town is just looking at her. Including that guy who looks like the farmer from Postman Pat. You know who he is if you watch Postman Pat.
Big mustache
and
guy?
This show. Yeah, so Postman Pat. It's like they literally incarnated him into. Is that WandaVision? Did Wanda watch Postman Pat as well on the side and made him?
He looks to me like I can't place it exactly, but it's an animated movie. It might be Pixar. He's got like a big Pixar mustache. Yeah. There's an animated.
I've seen him in other things.
Is it a Klaus maybe? I don't know. He's like big mustache, really tiny forehead, and you can't see his eyes. He's just a big mustache. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, yeah.
I will say, like, I've definitely seen the actor in other things, and no offense to the actor, but that mustache makes you look like a guy from Postman Pat. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, and all of them are, legitimately angry at Wanda, not, tackling her to the ground and beating her for being a witch and destroying their life for a while. None of that. Can you imagine? Imagine you just came out of the blink, like, oh, I'm back, my family, everyone's happy, and then some witch comes into the town and fucks you all over again for a week.
Maybe a welcome distraction from the awkwardness of like, hey, I disappeared for 5 years and now I'm back and there's like people living in my house and stuff.
Yeah. That's
Wanda,
fair enough,
give me a home and a purpose because I'm lost here. I don't know what's going on.
Just imagine like what? This is your house now? My wife has been what am I meant to do? And then
What am I
Wanda just
gonna
walks
do?
in
Wanda's
and
like,
like,
I got you.
reality change. Like,
Yeah,
oh, thank
I
God.
got you. You're a school teacher now, baby. You got. Thank you.
That just one guy in the town is actually kind of upset. Like, it's actually a really nice life, really.
Yeah,
Weird nightmares.
It was
but,
nice not to have to think about things all the time, you know.
I have trauma from what happened in the 5-year gap. But yeah, so it must have been an emotional roller coaster for a lot of people in the town, especially just in general. Like it must have been hard.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, and she, Monica and hers are talking, and Wanda goes, "Look, I'm sorry," and says, "Look, I completely understand. I would have brought back my mother as well." And yeah, we get.
Yeah.
I think I got the slightest impression that Monica probably should say, "Hey, you should probably be like arrested," but they kind of went, "It's not going to happen, is it? Because you're the strongest Marvel character of all time now."
Yeah, it would have had to have been a case of Wanda like surrendering, kind of. It would have been like Superman in handcuffs.
Yeah.
In Man of Steel, it's kind of like he's here only as long as he wants to be. Like if he ever wants to leave, he can. So like,
and that's the thing. That's not Wanda's character anymore. She's confident. No, she's happy who she is. She's not going to degrade herself and go like, "Oh no, I deserve to be in prison." No, she's past that now. She's powerful and she knows it, and no one's going to tell her how to live anymore.
And she says, "I don't." She says, "I don't understand this power yet, but I will."
Yeah.
And then she flies off.
Yeah, she flies off, and
see
that's scene, and then we get 2 extra scenes.
If anyone is wondering, there is 2 this time. There is a mid-credit scene like the last 2 weeks, and then there is one right at the end of the credits. After you get through the 12.5 years of credits, right at the very end, there's another one.
Yeah,
which is more important than the first one, I think. Or better, at least. I don't know, whatever.
Okay, but anyway, mid-credit scene. Monica gets called to the theater to, like, we get the idea that it's meant to be a debriefing, or she has to talk to someone or something like that.
Yeah, and some FBI lady just walks over. She's like talking to Jimmy Woo, who's like directing things, the cleanup operation, whatever. Yeah. Some woman walks over with an FBI badge on it, says, "Monica, they want you in the theater." That's all she says. Monica just goes, "All right."
We also get a reference that, like, power looks good on you, Woo. Like he.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably that's probably a nod to like maybe either him joining S.W.O.R.D. because the director's now gone. Maybe he's the next director. That'd be fucking great. I'd love that.
Yeah.
Make Woo the director of S.W.O.R.D. They go into the cinema and we get, I think, a wish fulfillment of a lot of people that yes, there are Skrulls around still. Because the woman that told her that they needed to talk turns into a Skrull and says, "I'm a friend of your mother's, or a friend of a friend, or something like that.
An old friend of your mother's."
Yeah, and it says, "And someone wants to speak to you." And she points.
The guy he's talking about is an old friend of Monica's mother.
Okay,
that's what she says. She says, "An old friend of your mother's wants to talk to you," or something.
And she points to the sky, which obviously space.
Yeah, he's in the attic. I thought. No? He's just upstairs, right?
No. She points up and he's actually just in the cinema in like
he's in the balcony
projector room going, "Hey,
hey guys."
Yeah, I was expecting something silly like Doctor Strange sitting in the front row of the cinema or something like that. I was really because that's what I was expecting, any character that we know to show up. It's like, come on, but we didn't. But it's not the end of the world, really isn't. And then we get the final credit scene, and we're at the scene of X-Men 2, and we see the last stand.
It's the big lake where Cyclops died.
Yeah, it really looked like that. Come on, it really did.
Yeah, and then it zoomed into the house, and it was kind of. I was like, "Oh, is this the little hut where Edward Norton's Incredible Hulk learned to control himself?"
And we also get the impression, once we see the hut and we see Wanda outside of it, it looks kind of rusty. It looks probably like a Sokovian.
Yeah, there's like the hut and like the markings or whatever on the windows and stuff. Look. It
looks like South German sort of.
It looks
feel to it.
Eastern European, like old world Eastern Europe kind of.
Yeah. and wood carvings in like
Romany
decorated
type
wood
stuff.
kind of stuff. Like and it looks, and we just see her coming in, and she's putting a kettle on or something, and she's just seems a little to herself. And then we see the camera move away from her and go into the back room, and I was just like, White Vision's going to be there, 100% White Vision. And we turn around, and it's again Scarlet Witch, but full Scarlet Witch costume, reading that goddamn book of Agatha's,
The Darkhold.
Yeah, and she's just like reading through the whole thing, and I guess she's doing like weird astral projection thing to study.
Yeah, she can now astral project while she's awake, and also still control her body while she's astral projecting, which is fucking huge.
I mean, it is, but at the same time, this is how strong she is.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like if you needed a further proof that she is stronger than the Sorcerer Supreme, there you go. This is something he can't do.
Yeah. Did you find it weird that we got no mention to Doctor Strange movie coming up?
I think she's stronger than the Sorcerer Supreme. It was all we're gonna get, really. Okay. I did find it odd. The whole way through, especially after Agatha said that, I thought one of the post-credit scene was gonna be something to do with Doctor Strange. But it's not. I mean, I also like the most important part of the post-credit scene is that she hears the kids calling for help.
Oh, that's right. Yes, it's like a weird echoey distant.
She hears
thing,
like an echo of one of the kids saying, "Mom, help us," or something, and then she I can't remember if she like looks up or something, but that's so. Yeah,
I wouldn't worry about people saying, "Oh my god, they got rid of those two characters," which are like actually fan favorites, like the actual heroes from the comics. So I'm fairly sure they're going to return. I wouldn't worry about that.
I mean, I think now more than ever, Wanda might be like Doctor Strange's purpose in the next movie might be to stop Wanda in whatever she's doing. I think Wanda's gonna mess with some shit that she doesn't quite understand in an effort to get the kids
just learning,
to bring the kids back, and Doctor Strange is gonna have to be like, "Yo, what the fuck are you doing, lady? It's not how this works."
Well, maybe it's one of those things where she brings them back and it opens the door to something coming in instead.
Yeah, it'll be something.
Because I don't like the idea of her doing like, "Oh, she fucked up again. Better send in people to make sure."
Exactly that, but and that's why I think I'm only basing this on like the comic book storyline with the kids. Is that if she's hearing them, if they're out there somewhere, it's possible that they go the Mephisto route, because that's what it was in the comics. That she had to basically, like when she created them in the comics, there was like a piece of Mephisto's magic or something in them. So when they were gone, Mephisto had them. He had their not their souls, but he had the boys basically, and Wanda had to
the essence.
She had to like cut a deal with him or some shit to get him back.
Okay.
I also, just a brief thing that I thought was a clever little nod as well is when after Wanda turns the tables on Agatha, she says thanks for the lesson, which is another little nod to, like, in the comics, Agatha is Wanda's teacher, basically. That shows her how to use.
To be fair, I think even in the show, and especially the episode before this, she, as much as she was the villain, she also took on a teacher sort of position. She taught her about runes. She went through her life saying like, "This is what you should have done. This is." There is a bit of that.
Like you said last week, that you thought that Agatha was partially doing this to help Wanda as well. You surely don't still think that, do you?
No, I don't. But I do think she still took on a teacher position to Wanda. Definitely do.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that's what she was trying to do. I don't think she was intentionally trying to teach Wanda how to use her powers. I think she was trying to.
More to Agatha.
I think it was like forced development or something. She was trying to like make Wanda crack enough that she started using her powers, and then Agatha could take them.
But even then, at the end, when she's like, "You'll need me," and all this kind of stuff, I honestly think Agatha thinks of herself as a teacher to Wanda, even in the MCU.
I think that's just self-preservation on her part.
But it's consistent. It's consistent throughout her character. Like, she's always there as a caregiver, a teacher throughout it. In a bad way, yes, but she's there.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if she thinks of herself in that role, though.
I think she does. I think that's absolutely what she's doing. I think she's trying to almost make herself seem like justified by doing this. Like I said, she's a teacher. She's even though she's going to use her in the end and take her powers from her all the way up to it, she's still putting herself in that position in her life. And she could take her. She could be anything else, and it would still work. But she decided to be her neighbor, her nosy friend, the gal who looks after the kids, the gal who talks her through her history and her development. She chose that character for a reason. Or the producers chose that character for a reason, I should say, you know? But it's definitely there. I'm not, I know what it sounds like I'm saying, like, oh, she's a good person who thinks that she has to teach Wanda. It's not what I'm saying, but she feels the most comfortable in that position to manipulate Wanda. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I don't know if I think she knows that that's the best avenue to get Wanda to do what she needs her to do.
I don't know. I think there could be a whole bunch of other different avenues. I think she just feels most comfortable in this one.
I don't know. I don't think her motivations are that pure.
I don't think it's necessarily purity. I'm just saying that she's comfortable in this kind of role.
Why do you think
that's
that though? When what has?
Because she constantly drew for us the show. Like that's what she does.
Because she knows that's the best way to get Wanda to do things. And then when it wasn't working, she gave it up. She was like, "All right, this is not working anymore."
Even by the end, she goes back to it. But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
even by the end, she goes back to it.
That's just like she's like, Wanda's stolen all my magic and wants to alter my mind. I need to save myself.
But do you not think she sees herself as an introductory character to Wanda?
It's all about
the magical world.
Agatha's all about herself, I think.
I'm not saying she isn't, but I'm still saying she sees herself as a teacher in this. I definitely do. I get massive teacher vibes throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, maybe.
Again, not for good reasons. Not for good reasons. I'm not saying that, but yeah. Anyway, shall we move on from that? Did you like this episode?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it was a very good finale. To be fair.
Yeah. Was there anything you were just like, oh, I wish that happened instead?
I don't really care about Monica and the Skrulls and all that crap. To be quite honest, I could have done without it. I mean, I'm not against it. It's fine. It happened. I just don't really care. It's maybe to do with the fact that I didn't think Captain Marvel was very good.
No.
So that, like, giving me more of that, I was just kind of like, oh, you know, whatever.
Yeah. Do you think that's not a lead in? That's probably just a lead in to other stuff that's coming in. MCU,
Captain Marvel too.
Is she going to be in it? Do we know?
Monica? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I'm pretty sure Teyonah Parrish is going to be in it.
Yeah.
Another one where they're going to flip the switch. Monica's going to hate Captain Marvel, I guess, probably.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there is going to be that moment where it's like, you abandoned my mother,
there definitely will be. Like, you left. You fucked off and left. You left me.
And I have friends now, so much more personality, character than you. I don't know why I'm standing here.
Yeah, I'm friends with Scarlet Witch now, baby.
The most powerful Avenger. What?
Kick your ass.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. I'm quite content. I mean, this, like I said, I would have loved if Vision survived, but I think we all saw that not happening. Like,
yeah, well, it was a hope that everybody had that Vision would get a happy ending of sorts, but
he got a confused ending instead.
Yeah, it was it was unrealistic on our part to really hope too much for something like that to happen,
but he's still in the MCU. Like,
he's still around, which is cool. You know? So he'll be back. He will be back, and she'll be back, and Monica will be back, and Jimmy Woo will be back, and I hope to God Darcy is never back.
She had a big moment in that last
episode, I liked it as well how they she does one thing in the episode, which is crash her ice cream van into the director's car, right?
Yeah.
And then at the end, they're like, "Hey, where's Darcy?" And they just were like, "Oh, she doesn't need to be here." So they just throw away a line like, "Oh, I don't know, she just left. She said something about like debriefs are for nerds or something," and just left.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, cool. I'm glad she's not here to spew some stupid shit.
Yeah. Do you know? I'm gonna have to have another look at that ice cream van because there's insignia on the side, and there's like an ice cream. You know those little ice cream carts in the middle of the town as well, but there's a guy giving out ice creams, and there's a logo on the side of that. And I keep seeing the logo and not paying attention to it. I should actually have a look at it. But yeah. Do you think this was a good start to a I mean, we had MCU TV shows, some that we even didn't know about, but this is the most Disney sponsored MCU show. Do you think this is a good start to proper inclusive MCU shows?
Yeah, it's the first one, isn't it? This is the first like Disney MCU
Disney
TV
yeah.
show. Yeah, definitely.
I believe so. Yeah,
it's definitely the best start they could have given themselves. Like it's a huge hit, and it's really well put together. And now they're probably gonna lose me for a while. I'm probably gonna.
Can I just say one thing though? Like one thing. Like, fair balls to them for doing only one season. They didn't hint at another season. Yeah, but they did. There was no real hint at another season. Like, not really.
I mean, yeah, I guess because we know. I think if they hadn't already announced that Wanda's going to be in Doctor Strange 2, that ending would scream season 2.
Yeah,
to be honest, it's only for the fact that we know now. We're 100% confirmed Wanda's going to be in a movie and not anything else. So we know that's where they're going with it. If we didn't know that already, if we didn't know that already,
I love Wanda.
Everybody would have been like,
I love Wanda, but I don't want them to do another WandaVision season. Like, that was nice, short, everything done well.
See, here's the thing. I really liked it. Like, overall, I thought it was really fun to watch. The acting, the characters, the story, everything is great. I'm happy it's over. Yeah. To be honest, if they had done 12 episodes, if there was another couple of episodes still to come now, I'm already at the point where I was kind of like, I don't want to have to watch this every week now. I don't want to have to keep. I'm kind of getting. It's partially on my end. It's nothing against the show. It's just me. I'm kind of.
No, I think I wasn't going to say I wasn't getting fatigued now, but I was definitely like, look, it's going to its finale. Let it come.
Yeah. I think it was easier to stay invested when I knew there was only like this small amount of episodes as well. If they had gone full sitcom and done 20 episodes or something a season, I would have got bored and probably been like,
imagine they did 45 minutes for each episode. Wouldn't have worked.
No,
I think they actually did a really good job there.
Yeah, they did it. It's really well. Yeah, they knew. I think they knew because I'm not the only one. I've seen a bit of fatigue online as well of people saying like, I loved it, but I'm happy that we're at the end of it now, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see how it all comes together and see the ending, and I don't really want to have to have another fucking 10 weeks of this. Like,
here's a thing I can say as well. A lot of times people talk about American shows going on for like 26 episodes back in the day and that kind of stuff, and that being filler. This show showed that you can still have the positive elements from fillers in the show, but still have everything relevant to the plot going forward. Like, there was no filler episode.
No, but I mean, there's only 9 episodes. You can't do a filler.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. But that's what I mean. Like, they were still able to do the character ones. So filler episodes are usually for developing characters and looking into characters and see what they do when they're outside of the big story. But we got plenty of character development in 9 episodes here. Like, Scarlet Witch is much more of a character now in my head than she ever was before.
Yeah, it's good TV.
Yeah. So you don't need fillers. You don't need a massive 5 seasons and 200 episodes thing. Do what you're doing, know what story you're doing, how it's going to end, and do a great job at it, and it'll be enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, good TV.
Yeah, so as you can obviously guess, we won't be doing this again every Friday because, it's not on anymore. It'd be a very weird podcast to do something that wasn't on.
We're continuing WandaVision Fridays every week, guys. We're going to start our rewatch immediately.
Kazi and I were saying we're probably not going to watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We're not mad about those characters ourselves.
No, I'm not. I mean, I might watch it
privately,
like on my own. Maybe I might leave it till there's a couple of episodes, and I'll stick a couple on at once and see what it's like. But I don't really. I am. As soon as we finish recording, I'm gonna go cancel my Disney Plus subscription.
Yeah, because
I might get it back maybe when fucking
for Loki, maybe for Loki. Even then, we'll see. We do have some other programs that we want to kind of bring up, as in programs that we make ourselves. We were talking about a nifty little news program we could release every week. It was just short bits of news that's important to us that we want to talk about and share.
Yes,
that sounds something that we'd like to do. What kind of news would ye like us to talk about? Do you want us to be very politically charged, or do you want to say, hey, there's this movie coming out, it looks pretty fucking good? We can obviously talk more about video games. We're still talking about getting a stream running, if we can find a cool 2-player game. And yeah, I think there's still plenty to come for this channel, and we hope you enjoyed. Folks, remember to go onto the Facebook or the Twitter. We have polls up for next week's movie, which is The Iron Giant, Hercules, the Disney movie, and Prince of Egypt. All stupidly fantastic choices, and you have to pick.
And today is the last day of voting. Because we do,
so go right now.
Need to watch the movie and then record an episode on it for Tuesday. So.
We should record and instantly do the episode just straight away. Do the podcast while we're watching it.
Yeah.
But
our first live recorded podcast.
Yeah. We were playing with that idea at one stage, but yeah. So folks, do that right now if you listen to this. So you might as well get it over and done with. All great choices, but some I definitely have my favorite there, and I know Owen does, but Owen won't say it because that would make the voting bias.
No, we campaign for our favorites. No, we won't.
No. There's no point to the poll. It's a they choose. You should have just chosen the movie if you had a favorite.
I know I should have, yeah, but I didn't. It only was afterwards I was thinking about it, and I was like, oh shit, I really want to do that one.
Yeah. To be fair, they're all great movies, and we'll probably eventually do all of them. Obviously, we're not going to do them. Oh yeah, we're going to do the other movie right next, because it would negate the poll. Anyway, folks, we had a great time doing WandaVision. We hope you had a great time listening. Please like, subscribe, follow whatever platform you're listening to us on, and we love you long time. Bye bye.
Asherlo. It's a big rant.